Today we are here on the Regal Princess, and I have an awful lot of updates for you, both with what's going on board the ship, a few tips for you if you are going to be embarking in Southampton on a cruise. Doesn't matter what cruise line it is. Of course, I know Princess the best, but I've got some tips to share with you that I think will come in handy if you'll be doing that, as well as just lots of other random items that we need to talk over together and I want you to be aware of. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Thursday. It is August 14th of 2025. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click on that subscribe button, and if you appreciate my updates, please give this video a thumbs up. I am trying to move around the cabin here a little bit and show you how things look. So when you book a deluxe balcony on a Princess cruise ship, it comes with a love seat. As you can see, it's not a huge love seat. It's about 2/3 of a small sofa is what I would say, and it does change the configuration of your stateroom a little bit. So I wanted to talk this over with you to just give you a few tips about when you try to decide what kind of a stateroom you want when you book a cruise with Princess. There are regular balconies, and some of the newer, bigger ships, Royal Princess on. So Royal Princess, Regal Princess, Discovery Princess, Enchanted Princess, Sky Princess, Majestic Princess, they all have what we call deluxe balconies, and they come with a love seat. If you have a regular balcony, no love seat. You've got the bed, you've got the desk, and you have a chair at the desk. So if there are two guests in the cabin, clearly somebody has to sit on the bed when you want to sit down. So a lot of people really like the luxury of having a love seat. A thing that I want to let you think about as you think about what kind of a cabin you're going to book is that when you're on a longer cruise, I feel like this room would get smaller and smaller. This is only the second time we have ever had a deluxe balcony, and only the first time Gordon and I have had one together. Usually we have a regular balcony. To me, the regular balcony, even though you don't have a love seat to sit on, does feel more spacious. Honestly, it really does. I keep telling Gordon this, and he sees where I'm coming from with it. And so when you think of going on a longer cruise, I would say if you're someone that really likes to have extra space, and even if it's a shorter cruise and you like to have extra space, check and see what the difference is in price between the deluxe balcony and the mini suite. If a mini suite is in your price range, that you're going to enjoy more because it gives you more space. We have never gotten a mini suite. I've been in mini suites lots of times visiting people. Sounds kind of funny, but anyway, there is definitely more space in a mini suite than there is in a deluxe balcony. So just kind of think it over. If you just want somewhere to sit, the deluxe balcony is fantastic. If you always like to cruise in a deluxe balcony, be aware that the deluxe balconies always book up quick because people do like having a love seat to sit on. Mini suites are also really important, and there are fewer deluxe balconies, there are fewer mini suites on the ship than there are regular balconies. So just some things to think about. Put your questions in the comments. But now that we're into day 2, we've had time to sit on this. I've had time to use the desk area and the way the whole thing is situated. I've had a lot of things to think about with it and wanted to share it with you. Next up, this is just a fast update, really quick update about Sodagate. And I just love reading your comments from yesterday. By the way, between the gratuities and Sodagate, we had a lot of excellent comments. So thank you all. It does not matter if we all agree on everything or even anything. It just is important that we like to come together, talk things over, and I think most of us like to cruise or travel. And so it's really great to read your comments. I appreciate everything that you share. Now, so Sodagate, I wanted to let you know just an extended story. Last night at the dinner table in the main dining room, one of our Let's Go family members we were seated with there at dinner asked the waiter at dinner, can I have a canned soda? I've got the classic soda package. Is that included? Can we get one with the plus package if we ask for it? Nope, you have to pay extra for that can of soda. Pointed out that we'd gotten 2 different answers on how they work canned soda on the ship when in the Piazza, and the waiter's reply was golden. And so I had Gordon write it down right at the time. So our waiter at dinner said, quote, Every cruise, they change the soda rules, end quote. So I can see why it would be really hard for the waiters to keep up with what's going on. And I honestly do think that even the shipboard people who are at the top of management are not keeping up with what's going on because their people don't know uniformly what's going on with it. So let me know. I really appreciate your comments, letting us know how things are going on different ships. It seems like that blurb that Princess put out saying if you asked, if you prefer a can of soda and we have it available, you can have it. It seems like that's not the rule anymore, that they really are not honoring that on any of the ships that I have heard from anyone on. So let me know how the soda packages, how they're working those rules are going on the ship that you're on right now. And it's really important to point out, I want to add that a lot of people just want to know what to expect with their packages. They aren't going to throw out going on a cruise. They're not going to think their cruise is a disaster if they can't have a can of soda. They simply want to know what is included so they know what to expect when they get on board a ship and know whether or not they want to pay for the classic soda. Because if they are someone who enjoys canned soda, they don't want fountain soda. They don't want to pay for it, and I get that completely. So I really appreciate everyone leaving their comments to how everything is going. So now I've got a couple of onboard updates for you and love to hear how this is going for those of you who are booked, and a caveat for you all, a warning here. So first off, excursions. So we booked some of our excursions for this cruise recently, and we booked some of them quite some time ago. I always advocate for guests to think about what they want to do when they go on a cruise. And a lot of people go on a cruise with a very specific thing that they want to do in at least one of the destinations. And so if there is something that you definitely want to get to do on your cruise, book the excursion early, because sometimes they sell out. And if you change your mind, you can cancel it and get your money back. When you get on board, you have to cancel at least 48 hours before you get to that port in order to get your money back. So you do have flexibility. But here we are. We are booked on this excursion for quite some time. It was, I believe, the first excursion we booked for this entire cruise. And it's called, it used to be called something about a day with Claude Monet and Giverny and in Rouen. And so we were very excited. I was very excited about this. Gordon graciously agreed to come, and we were supposed to go see Monet's home there in Giverny, see where he did his paintings. They've got a whole lot of information, really special situation there for people that enjoy Monet. Then we were going to go to a location and have lunch, and then we were going to go in Rouen, be able to see the cathedral and walk around the town, and then go back to the ship after that. And so not until we got on the ship did we receive this statement saying that that excursion had changed. And so here we are. We think that we are having one experience lined up, and we have a very different experience lined up. We're still going to go to Giverny, but the day has changed a lot. So I want you to really keep an eye on your excursions. A little while ago, a Let's Go family member, we had sent out the email of what we're doing on this cruise, and she said, you know what, I can't find the excursion that you listed anywhere. And so when we went in, we were still booked on that excursion. So I'm like, well, where is it? And we found this similar one and thought, well, I wonder if they've changed it, but they haven't notified us. So surely they haven't changed it. And indeed, it has changed. So they don't notify you. So keep an eye on your excursions. Sorry to have to tell you that. Really disappointing. It makes me want to do fewer excursions through the cruise line and just do them all through private vendors. So I think I'm going to try to do that harder in the future, but just wanted to give you a heads up. Ours has changed. Go back and look at your excursions, see if there are any changes, make sure it's really doing what you wanted to do, because in the end, I don't know that I would have chosen this one with it not having Rouen. We're not even going to Rouen anymore. And so I don't know that I would have chosen this. So the next update I have for you has to do with passports, and this is a really big deal because I know a lot of people are very nervous about giving up their passports, and I know that it really depends on where you're going as to whether or not a cruise line is going to have to take your passport. Yesterday, we got on board the ship, and we had not been on very long at all here in our cabin. Really soon along came our room steward and explained to us there was a notice on our bed when we first arrived. It says, important notice customs and immigration formalities at Cork, Ireland. And basically, the ship is going to take care of the immigration function that we have to do going to Cork, Ireland, or anywhere in Ireland. And because there are two parts of Ireland. Part of it is part of the EU and part of it is not. So it's really interesting. The part that's part of the EU, you use euros, and that's part of that. The other part you use pounds. It's just like you do in the United Kingdom. So you kind of have to keep, like if you're going to visit Ireland, you probably are going to need to have both pounds sterling as well as euros. So anyway, as we call tomorrow, we're going to have to go through an immigration procedure if you are a non-European Union citizen and if you are a British guest passport. So if you happen to be an EU passenger here on the ship and you're from the EU, they're not taking your passports. But because we are not from the EU and we are, we're also not British passport holders, they have to take our passports. They will take care of it. We don't have to do anything. We're going to get off the ship, enjoy our beautiful day, and get back on. But I wanted to make you aware of how careful they are. So the cabin steward came. They already had these cards printed out that had our names on it and the little tags that have the number that match. You tear off the card and it matches the number on that little card they give you, matches the number on the big like card piece that they put in your passport. So they keep track. Your passport is assigned a number with a receipt, and they keep track of it the whole time. So that number stays with it, and they give us the little card with a number on it so that we have proof of like where our passport is, basically. And so on August 20th, they are going to give between 8 o'clock in the morning and 11 in the morning. Our room steward is going to come around and give back our passports. He was really kind, and he's like, if you are anywhere at 8 o'clock between 8 and 11, I'll be out in the hall trying to give these back. Come and find me after 11 a.m. They are going to be returned to guest services. So if I can't find you anywhere between 8 and 11, they'll go back to guest services and you'll have to go there to collect your passport. This is really routine. I want you to know that so that you're not worried anything is going to happen with your passport. I am really excited. I hope I see a new stamp in it when I get mine back. The other cruise that we have been on that they have collected our passport is when we went to Antarctica. So if you are coming with us on the Antarctica group cruise next year, I think chances are pretty good, unless any rules have changed, that they're going to collect your passport when you get on board the ship. This, I don't know why, but for some reason this doesn't make me worry, because I know the cruise lines are very fastidious. I appreciate that they are taking care of the immigration procedures that need to take place, and I want to go visit these places, and so I will let you know how it goes. But when they've taken it before, they give it back really quickly, so don't be alarmed. It's very routine, and they do take good care of your passport, okay? I feel like this is being covered really well by a lot of cruise vloggers, by a lot of different places are talking about the flooding that's going on in Juneau. So if you have a cruise scheduled to Juneau coming right up, make sure that you check to make sure that your excursion's not been canceled. When you get on board the ship, see how everything is going there. They did have some flooding right up by the Mendenhall Glacier, and when it floods there, they have to change a lot of excursions that would take place right in that area. And it's also not the same. You don't get to go visit it like you would when no flooding's going on, and they have to close the National Park Center there. And so this is my heads up to you that this has happened. I remember some flooding happening last year. It's not the first time this has happened. And so just kind of keep your eye on what you're going to be doing when you're in Juneau. I think it's really a great idea. Two things always come to my mind when I think of Juneau, of really cool things to do. There are several cool things to do when you're in Juneau. First of all, a lot of times they offer that long excursion that will take you out to get to see the North or South Sawyer Glacier. Beautiful glaciers to see. If you get the chance to take that, the scenery all the way out there is breathtaking. It's beautiful. Of course, coming back, you see the same thing again, but those glaciers are really special to see. And I think it's important we visit places while we can still visit them before anything changes and we can no longer go there. Another thing to do in Juneau is to go whale watching. One of the best places in Alaska to go whale watching, because they have Auk Bay. That's an excellent option. They've got, it's not called the Mount Roberts tram anymore. They call it something else, but it's the tram that goes up the side of the mountain that is right there by where all the cruise ships come into dock. don't book that until you actually are in the port that day, because if it's all, which is often the case, all foggy and socked in, when you get to the top, you can't see anything but clouds, okay? And then Mendenhall Glacier is the other thing to see. And so make sure that you kind of have a backup plan. If all you were going to do is go to Mendenhall Glacier, have something else in mind that you can do in case any of the flooding is impacting what you're doing. And who knows, you know what, it could flood again. We don't know. And so just always have a backup plan. Just felt like it was really important. If you haven't heard that anywhere else, now you know. The last thing I just wanted to let you know really quickly is we got a comment about our resolution. So when we are on board the ship, we used my iPhone. We did used to bring my nice camera that I used to video at home, but the files are much bigger, much higher resolution, and they take forever to process and upload. So when you put a video to YouTube, you not only have to upload it, you also have to process it. And it is just prohibitive. We've just decided that we're going to do the lower resolution while we're here on board the ship, and when we get home, we'll do the higher resolution. So keep an eye out for our videos that are higher resolution, but I think that you'll be able to see everything okay while we're here, and I really appreciate you joining us. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.